Good day, viewers. For the sake of clarity, please endeavor to listen to the end of this video. There is something I want to clarify about the 25% mandatory vote that every candidate that wants to become president must have according to Nigerian constitution. Now, we know that this issue is before the court, and few weeks from now, we will be seeing the judicial interpretation of the constitution about this 25%. But it is also very important to make Nigerians to understand that those that draft the constitution did not make mistake. When they said that as a president, you must have 25% vote in FCT for you to be declared as president, I want to tell you the reason why it is very, very important. Now, come to look at this. Tinubu, who does not have the approval of the FCT indigenes, was declared as the president of Nigeria. Now, he came all the way from Lagos to Abuja to assume the responsibility of the president. As if that is not enough, he now appointed somebody in the person of Nyesom Wike to become the FCT minister. You know what that means? He now appointed the governor of FCT. Now, the question is, how can somebody that the indigenes, Abuja people don't want him, now you now impose it on them as the FCT minister? That is the reason why 25% FCT vote is mandatory. If you don't have up to 25% vote in Abuja, you becoming the president should be and must be illegal. Because you cannot become the president, you force, apart from you forcing yourself on the FCT people, okay, you are not only the president of FCT, you are also the president of Nigeria. But there are some responsibilities that you as a president are going to execute that will affect these people directly. Example is what I just mentioned, by appointing the FCT minister. Now, the Abuja people are saying, we do not vote for the president and we don't want the FCT minister. He is not the kind of person that we want to be the governor of the FCT, because FCT minister is automatically the governor of FCT. The question is this: you that are dragging or trying to say that it's not compulsory, didn't you vote for the governor of your state? The governor of your state, didn't they come to office by the majority of vote cast? But only thing that is required in Abuja is just 25%, and people are trying to raise dust, trying to say that the constitution is not what it is. No, come to think of it, from my state, we voted, and the majority of votes was received by a governor that is sitting on the seat today. The same thing happened to your state. Why is Abuja on different? Now, in Abuja, because it is the FCT, they don't want, okay, even though you did not have the majority of the vote, but just have 25% of vote. And people are trying to say that that is not what the constitution says. Come to think of it, all these people that are dragging this issue of 25%, what do they say before the election?
That majority means over 50%. Highest means even if you win by one vote. It doesn't necessarily have to be 50%. Yes, it can be one vote ahead. So the highest number of votes, that's the first condition. The second condition is that you must win 25% votes across 2/3 of Nigeria's 36 states, which is 24 states, plus it is an and FCT.
You must win FCT.
You must win at least 25% in FCT.
Okay.
So even if you win those 24 states, you have 25%, but you don't get 25% in FCT, there's a problem.
Wow. But that has just been an added one. That has just been included.
That is your constitution.
That is the constitution.
That is your constitution.
That's the constitution.
And I'll give you the section of the constitution so you can go and check. That's your constitution.
That's the constitution.
Yeah, that's your constitution.
Well, Emmanuel, yes. I mean, it is 87 million.
And that is why I personally, right from time, I have concluded in my mind that I am optimistic that the Court of Appeal are going to give express interpretation to what the law says, because I read the judicial presidents of the Supreme Court, what they gave the judgment about this 25% FCT, that no, it is mandatory. Yes, Supreme Court have said so. So I am surprised by the time people from opposition like APC are saying, no, it's no longer compulsory. So it is laughable. And that is why I succumb to the subjection and the assertion of the senior advocate of Nigeria, Mike Ezekome. Listen to the video again if you have not seen this video before.
My take is that the just concluded election was poorly done, poorly handled, obviously manipulated, obviously compromised. There's no question about that. That the Electoral Act of 2022 makes it clear in several sections that you must upload results from the polling units. And there are about 127,974 polling units in Nigeria. The constitutional requirement is that you must upload results from these polling units. But what we saw was INEC resorting to manual, mutilating results, shutting down their portal for over 24 hours, during which time all the doctoring and surgical operations had taken place. The election was therefore not fair, it was not transparent, it was not genuine, it was not credible. And so the emergent president-elect is going to carry a very strong, heavy burden of legitimacy and lack of it on his neck like an albatross. It doesn't require even demonstrations or protests on the streets to drive home this point. The issue is a moral burden on him. And not only that, it is clear from the provisions of the Constitution. If you check sections 132 to 134, that the winner of the presidential election must not only win plurality of the votes, that is the most number of votes, he must also win 25% in each of at least 2/3 of the Nigerian states and the Federal Capital Territory. What does that mean? You must get 25% in 24 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not score 25% in FCT. Well, I do not know, but even if he scored in 24 without scoring 25% in FCT, he could not and he should not have been declared president-elect, as INEC wrongly did. So all these are matters that must and will be challenged at the tribunals. From INEC, nothing positive can be expected from the present INEC as it is presently constituted. Nothing. For the judiciary, my advice to it is that in deciding this case, it must look critically at the justice of the matter, not at technicalities. It must look at the wishes of the Nigerian people as expressed through the polls, not technicality. I do not want a judiciary. I have already said many times that Nigeria does not operate democracy, which was a word coined or defined by Abraham Lincoln, a former American president, on the 19th of November, 1863, that we do not operate democracy, but we operate many crises which are not demo. One of them, I said, is judocracy. Judocracy is a warped, corrupted form of democracy in which a president or a governor is put up through a fundamentally flawed process which did not represent the will of the people, and then it goes, the people quarrel and they go before the judiciary, and the judiciary midwives, incubates and delivers a president or a governor or a senator for the people, probably against the wish of the people. I call it judocracy. I've also extracted and formulated what you call electionocracy. Electionocracy is another crazy by which Nigerians every 4 years go through the rituals of going for elections or selection. like has just happened, and I will still continue on the 11th. And after that, the governor or president uses the first 1 year studying the system, going around to thank the people. The second year to do 1 or 2 little things, including roads that will be washed up after the first rainfall. Then starts from the 3rd year for campaigning secretly, and from the 4th year from openly campaigning. So democracy dividends would not have come to the people. Then executocracy is that when that president or governor now comes to office, instead of making laws for the peace, order, and good government of Nigeria, as is provided for in Section 5 of the Constitution, he goes about terrorizing other arms of government, impoverishing the people, enthroning corruption, insecurity, and economic deficiency. That is executocracy. Then finally we have legislatocracy, which is another crazy, by which the legislature, rather than make laws for the order, good governance, and peace of Nigeria, they make laws for their pockets. They padlock budgets. They use their oversight functions to blackmail members of the executive, to padlock budgets so that they can have their own. And then they give them what you call constituency projects, which are monies they put in their pockets, never for their constituency. By the way, what is the business of a lawmaker with attracting constituency projects for his people? That's the job of the executive. A lawmaker is to make laws. Simple. So until we change this mindset, this analog way of doing things, we can't go forward.
I am glad you watched this video to the end. Thank you so much for finding time to watch. Please share this video, subscribe to this channel if you have not, and above all, always come by for daily updates. Thank you.